Signs. Welcome to your 8-card draw shadow read for this full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Virgo, August 2022. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They are my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. 24 years in service and happy to be so. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview it for free. And creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Wonderful platform for artists like myself. I'm a mystical artist, but artists of all kinds is really cool over there. I've got humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses as my subscription tiers, levels, whatever you want to call them. And there's a new one, Mystic, coming soon. So if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, well, one of them. Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi. Hi, my Leonines, my fifth housers. It's shadow read time. Doing this on a Sunday with the moon in Sagittarius. It's a lot of fire, and I'm certainly feeling it and ready to rock and roll. If you're new to the channel, an 8-card draw. These used to be 7-card draws, but now they are 8-card draws. I got a new deck. It's just 1 card each from each of those 8 decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. So it's a timed reading, not a timeless reading. And of course, it's a Leo read, so my cats are acting shady. Just keeping my eye on them a little bit. You know, situational awareness. We've got a flipper. Oh, no, we don't. Let's see if that one comes back up again. Let's look at the astrological timeline. The full moon in Aquarius, as I said, Thursday, August 8th, 9:36 p.m., which is wonderful. We got the Eastern time. I'm in New York. So like 9:36 p.m., I will have showered, shaved, gotten ready to do my full moon magic. And if you want some clues, tips, and hints about that, the 5-card draws are from new moon to full. This one is full to new. So we get the full lunar cycle here in terms of manifestation and shadow work and all that. And then we've got the 2 weeks following to alchemize from lead to gold, release, forgive, surrender, let go. The tricky part, the letting go, the waning phase of the moon, because lead has 3 more atoms than gold. So over 2 weeks in a particular situation in your life, you can do that alchemy from toxic to healthy, lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace, hence the archetype cards that we're going to start with. So it is a general reading. The new moon in Virgo. See, like Virgo on a Saturday, the 27th of August. So it's an Earth sign on Saturn and Earth Day. So really, this is a good one. Not to mention that the full moon on a Thursday in Aquarius is really powerful for expansion in all sorts of ways, shapes, and forms. When the moon rides at her peak, then you heart's desire seek. But when the moon is new, when the lady's moon is new, kiss the hand to her times 2, right? You know, you plant that seed, but with a Virgo new moon on a Saturday, 4:17 a.m., so waking up in that, a little morning magic to plant a seed of 6th house health and occupation. It could be really, really powerful. Anyway, so it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, check your other signs. Standard YouTube reading rules apply. To get more information about the timeline we're about to look at from another astrological point of view, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, or maybe you got 4 different things that need waning, letting go, alchemy, etc. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath. Mal-El of Krypton, the last gay of Krypton, or at least the last gay top of Krypton. I will get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can to help you out. Because here's the tea. Here's the real truth. The truth is that there is individual, personal shadow as well as collective shadow. And the crazy shit we're seeing on planet Earth pretty much since Jump has been a lot of that fear, that suppressed stuff that we don't want to look at, or if we know about it, we don't want anybody else to look at it. So the more you do your shadow work, the more, yes, you're clearing your own personal subconscious and unconscious, but as a result, once it hits that unconscious mind, it's healing healing everybody, shifting not just you, but the entire planet to a more gold, healthy, light, truthful, I think you get what I'm saying, timeline than the shadow. You with me? Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I think I've explained enough because, you know, new people, you gotta. Comes with the job. But now let's do some divination. Please take a nice deep breath. There's so much fire in the sky right now, astrologically. Still point. And the sun's in Leo. Yeah. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. Oh, by the way, I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising, just as an aside. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, because if the cross watchers apply this to their own energy field, their own stuff, they're going to help heal the Leo collective anyway. So, using the Caroline Myss archetype cards, what is the dominant 8th chakra archetype affecting all the chakras underneath them, what they attract, what they repel in order to fulfill their sacred contracts, the healing that they came to do, the transformation, the awakening, all of that they came to do for their benefit and for the benefit of all of life. That's a lot. 8th chakra dynamic. Archetypal pattern, soul power being alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. Here we go. This full to new August 2022. Oh, worth the wait. The Don Juan. Oh boy. Now, this is a wild card family archetype. It's not about bodily gender, although Don Juan essentially means Father Juan. It's not like his first name was Donald. Because it is a wild card family archetype, you never know how it's going to show up. So of course you think romantic sexual, because that's the legend of Don Juan. If you're not familiar with it, you might wanna, him and Casanova probably just like competing lifetime after lifetime. The shadow attribute written on the card here is what, like I said, you don't want to look at, or if you know about it, you don't want anybody to know about it, particularly what's written here. The light attribute is what you're shooting for, the more golden. So the shadow attribute of the Don Juan, using the power of romantic attraction for private agenda. In other words, you're using your romantic seductive power to get over, to get something, to be shady, right? But check this out. The light attribute spotlights your positive seductive qualities. Well, what are your positive seductive qualities? You know, well, I've got a bunch. My hair. Well, I have Mars conjunct Leo rising, right? A sense of humor can be very seductive, particularly when it's not aimed at trying to trap somebody, right? Like, for instance, perfect example, car salesman. I don't care the gender. I don't care the gender. They'd be so seductive, particularly used car salesmen, right? So with the private agenda, although that doesn't mean that there aren't, of course, you know, people who sell cars around this world that really have that calling to put together the right people with the right vehicle and be very seductive about it, particularly Leos. All right, so we're off and running. I try and have fun with these shadow reads because there's always a higher truth, and if you keep going, levels of consciousness and all of that, spiritual awakening, you will see the humor in all of it from the point of the immortal soul rather than the human ego. So, the next card down is from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, feminist deck, so it's feminist energy. The next 4 chakras down, crown, third eye, throat, and heart. Your alchemical laboratory, because this is where shadow work begins, right? Throat chakra minimum. You have to choose to do it or not. Will you delay what cannot be prevented? This is what they keep saying to me. Personally, they're like, do you want to do it today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now, or 10 lives from now? Your choice. I was like, now's good. Why delay that which cannot be prevented? So let's see what's going on the inside. Please take a nice deep breath. I love this deck. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of fire, the sign of Leo, powers of the south, bright and brilliant and beautiful ones, please. One card in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, please, what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, their feminine energy, their goddess energy, their yin dynamic, their personal level of power, their creative intuition, to help them alchemize this Don Juan archetype, which they can have a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and come and go in a day, or be there from birth and anywhere in between. This full to new. August 2022, the Wheel of Fortune, in this deck, the Spider Woman, the Life Weaver. The wheel is turning inside of you, and it's a major arcana card in a reading like this. It's heart, throat, third eye, crown all at once, where, you know, if it was fire, you know, one of the fire cards, it might be throat chakra. We feel that out as we go. So there is something destined. There is some divine timing about this. Things that are written into the script of this life as a human on a hero's journey that you did not have to contend with before you incarnated as an immortal soul and a divine child of the gods, goddesses, fill in the blank. So there is something destined inside of you. It is time for something. It is space. There is space for something. And in terms of shadow work, that at least indicates that your interior world is in alignment, but you get to choose what you want to do with it. Hence, shadow work. So this could really be about anything. I don't know so much that this is romantic sexual just because of the Don Juan. But let's look at the lower three chakras, the outside world, the masculine energy. Lower three chakras are relationships in the physical world. Root chakra, groups, tribes, circles of friends, your nationality, your political affiliation, right? Are you a Mets fan or a Yankees fan? That's a dangerous conversation in my family because it's being split down the middle. I am neutral. I'm the gay son. I get away with that. I changed the conversation to like musical theater, and it's just like they walk away. It's just so much easier. Second chakra, one-on-one relationship to another person or thing, money, sex, power. Solar plexus, your relationship to yourself in the world, your self-esteem, your self-image, your gut intuition, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. I'm going to guarantee you with that Don Juan card, there'll be a piece of guidance, grace in there, because an ethical Don Juan is a fucking turn on. Breathe. All three of them incarnate on the planet. Still point. Yeah, we'd like some more. As I call upon my gods of fire, sign of Leo, powers of the south, please, bright, brilliant ones of the sun. One card in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Watching this video, receiving this reading, masculine dynamic. Lower three chakras, inside looking out at them, outside looking in at them. In a general reading only, they will know that it's only one card, so please make it clear. Make it obvious, make it easy. What do they need, the Leo collective and cross watchers, to alchemize this Don Juan with a Wheel of Fortune, Spider Woman, Life Weaver on the inner weaver? You got two major arcana cards, and remember, there's only two tarot decks. You got the Lovers. Okay, now I know, instantly Lovers, people go to romance, but let's slow it down. We got a lot more cards to go. But this is the Judgment of Paris in the Mythic Tarot. Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena, and a guy by the name of Paris holding a golden apple. It's a long myth, but it's good. It started the Trojan War. In other words, he's got to choose which one gets the golden apple. And Hera is power, Aphrodite is love, and Athena is wisdom. And they all come to him privately and say, well, if you give me that fucking apple, because I don't want them to have it. It's the golden apple. A golden apple. There were more, by the way. They could have just gone to the orchard, but whatever. Oh, because it had written on it, to the most beautiful goddess, right? So he's got to decide, and none of the gods are touching that. They're like, no. No, Zeus is like, 2 of my daughters and my wife. No. So he decides Athena offers him wisdom to know everything. That's kind of cool. Hera offers him power, right? Like political power, to be the biggest warlord, whatever you want to think, biggest king. Political power in that way. Aphrodite offers him the most beautiful woman on earth. This is true love. Helena Troy, bang. Trojan War, right? So this is a life-changing decision regardless, right? This isn't just a choice, coffee, tea, or milk. No, 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 no. This is kombucha. As you so would choose, choices have consequences, decisions are life-changing. So, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, well, are you going to suffer your fate or manifest your destiny? That's the big choice. But just like all 4 chakras here, all 3 lower chakras. So really tune in to those lower 3 chakras to feel out the physical world, but then go within and really tune into what's being given to you, heart, third eye, crown, to perhaps see the warp and weave of your fate that you can alchemize to destiny. Let's get you a healing mantra, the Macon Healing Mantra deck. Now, particularly cross-watchers, even if you ignore every other card and you do the mantra, you're just not going to heal you. You're going to help heal the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Look, Don Juan, the Lovers. I mean, it's very easy at this point to say, "Oh yes, it's a Don Juan and a divinely designed romantic relationship." But let's just say we're going to do this. The Ascended Masters of the General Assembly. I'm not ready to dive into that. It's because I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising. I'm like, I want to see more. Don't you? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, because really, this could be about anything. 1 card in clarity for the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. The perfect healing mantra to help them do the alchemy, align the chakras. Don Juan in the 8th. Wheel of Fortune on the inner, Lovers on the outer. There is a big life change, and to do that during a waning moon could be tricky. So the perfect healing mantra, please, for the Leo collective and cross watcher to help them do all of this shadow work, this full to new. 2022, overcoming fear. Overcoming fear. I mean, can we get more shadow work? No. Overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss. Now, certainly, everybody has wounds of loss. There are 4 ego wounds. According to Matt Kahn, and I agree with him, abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. Maybe you've been abused. Maybe you haven't. I don't know how you escaped that. Maybe you've been neglected. That's harder to track because it's not so obvious. Sometimes you look back and go, oh my God, I have wounds of neglect. Codependence. I don't know how anybody survived that one without getting that one, but it's possible. But the wounds of loss everybody has, because gain and loss is part of the waxing and the waning of a dualistic paradigm, 3rd and 4th dimension. Bam. 5th dimension, we're moving on from that. It'll still be present, but it won't be dominant. So certainly from the past, this could be totally something about the past, but also with a life-changing decision, the fear of loss, right? Who you're going to choose. Right? What is your decision that you are going to make? So I'm going to read it from the Bookie Book. This is one of 4 Bookie Book readings because they say it better than I do. And believe me, I wouldn't read these on camera unless I know that, you know, being a spiritual teacher, I'll say 80% of it is finding what works for you and sharing it with those who want it, you know, because sometimes people don't. I will overcome every loss. When fear is overcome, you are able to rest in the resilience of your soul, no matter how frustrated or inconvenienced your ego seems to be. I think I said something about that maybe a bunch of minutes ago. You are able to embrace each obstacle and circumstance as life's auspicious way of helping you become the one you were always destined to be. So this is internal work. We don't know the action yet. Again, we got more cards coming. But definitely with Spider-Woman on the inner, this is about, look, I have overcome every loss. I'm still here, right? And remember, past lives and all that stuff, you're an immortal soul. That's how the soul sees it, but the ego wants to hold on to what it wants and wants more. And that's okay. It's all a journey. Sorry, I lost my place here. of helping you become the one you're always destined to be. There we go. In overcoming fear, every loss surely inspires a gain of insight for the evolution of your spiritual journey. This is very hero's journey. Very, very Joseph Campbell White courtesy telephone. This mantra is ideal for opening back up to to healing. Just to open back up to healing. It's a good start. A chronic fatigue, that's interesting, and releasing cellular memories, which is certainly about the past, but not only about your personal past. Cellular memories can be ancestral patterns, biochemically passed down for centuries. How about millennia, right? You know, the fear of loss. Like, I can think of, just off the top of my head, 100 different family lineages genetically that have suffered that. And of course, that fear of loss is passed down, because no one escapes that anyway. Everybody on planet Earth. I mean, if there's anybody who doesn't have abuse, neglect, and codependence, I'd be willing to meet them, but that means they're really dealing with the wounds of loss. Okie dokie, one would think, right? Statistically, whatever, please don't make me do math, but do make me take the next deck of cards. The Whispers of Love Oracle often turns the party. This has got some of them there romantic cards in it, as you've heard tell. The voices of the higher selves of all involved. Now, one would think the Don Juan would have other people around them, so their higher selves have a say too. Crosswatcher, please take a nice deep breath. Great, now I've got Peter Griffin in my third eye. That's why we say, still point. And away we go. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved. Fifth dimension and above. Eighth chakra and above. What is the Whisper of Love for the Leo collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading to help them, right? The whisper in their ear to help them alchemize this Don Juan archetype, Wheel of Fortune, Spider Woman, the wheels are turning, something's destined. But will they suffer their fate, depending on the choice that the big life decision that they make, with the lovers there to make the most loving, wise, empowered decision, Aphrodite, Athena, Hera decision, overcoming fear. They will transcend every loss. And yes, that's the risk of anything, but gain and loss is part of the cycles of it all down here. So please, what's the information, inspiration, insight most needed for the Leo collective and cross watchers this full to new? August 2022, forgiveness. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. Well, there's the like we talked about. You know, we hemorrhage energy into the past until we don't anymore, through regret, through guilt, through shame. And we also hemorrhage energy into the future, right? Through worry. Hope is an investment, but hope is tricky nowadays, right? To come into the present moment and consolidate that power and get that this one's a big one, Leo. Just with the major arcana on the table, you're essentially looking at a destined choice, but a crossroads, seriously, of how you want to deal with that. So forgiveness is a tricky word. It really is the spiritual F word, because there are different versions of it. Some that are wicked toxic, and some that are really rooted, based in pure non-dualism. So only one of us. So what you've forgiven, right? From the highest, higher, not even in the highest, your soul sees it differently than the ego. So the ego needs to forgive, but it can't. That's the job of the hero, the personality, to do that with the help. Ego, soul. Here, the hero, right? The personality. It's up to you. There you go. Forgive or not, I highly recommend the work of A Course in Miracles. It's a bit much to pick it up day one, the big blue books, but there are so many good teachers. I would just make sure if you get the big blue books by the Foundation from Inner Peace. Just saying, they're the original publishers. And others got a hold of it and changed it. So no, I am a Virgo. All right, forgiveness, overcoming fear with forgiveness. My God, just this mantra, right? I will transcend every loss. You begin to see the larger picture there in terms of the warp and weave of your fate and destiny. And then it's easier to forgive from a higher point of view. It just always is. Couldn't happen any other way. It was written. Yeah. Sacred contracts. We must have signed on the dotted line somewhere because here the fuck we are. Okay. Let's get one of my favorite decks, the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMacco, because she's got a cool name. But the book is amazing. The cards are gorgeous. I highly recommend them. Because if you're going to do a hero's journey like this, you might as well know who are the animal spirits and totems with you. There's a difference between animal spirits and totems, but I keep saying we'll talk about that another time, and I sure hope with me moving my house this year, we will get the opportunity to do that. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the spirit animals and totems. For the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, what is the Divine Animal Oracle message, as well as who walks with them, who swims with them, who crawls with them, who flies with them, giving them protection, the power, the love, the wisdom, the guidance, the grace, the support that they need to alchemize this Don Juan, Wheel of Fortune on the inner, Lovers on the outer, overcoming fear, and with the whisper of love, of forgiveness. To do shadow work, this does make sense. This full to new August 2022. The Sacred Ibis. Ooh, Thoth. I mean, all the gods are pretty much gorge, but, you know, he's so smart. Thoth, T-H-O-T-H, look it up. The Ibis is a bird. Very Egyptian. I'm pretty sure his name is mentioned in here, if not, and then Ta. Gorgeous card, card number 22. Oh, and our keyword is learning. Learning curve. You don't know how often I say that to myself, just in everything. It's like, hey, you know more today than you did yesterday, and you'll know twice as much tomorrow, right? So, you know, that's a way to forgive. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past, which is another mantra from Matt Kahn. They're really good. I highly recommend the deck. I don't get financial kickbacks from that. That's not my gig at the moment. The Sacred Ibis, so not just any ibis. Sacred Ibis. Keyword learning. Breathe. The getting of wisdom takes time, so be patient with your learning and delve deeper. Continual learning is a keystone to growth. You will succeed in your exams or study, and remember, every day is a winding road. We get a little bit closer on the journey. While everyone has a source of wisdom within them, not everyone chooses to exercise it. If you cast magic, do it with full knowledge of the consequences. Well, that goes without saying around this house. But I'm a Virgo. I just make it look like Leo. I certainly cross my T's and dot my I's before I cast that spell. And speaking of which, the magic, another section in each chapter. The Sacred Ibis was a revered creature in ancient Egypt, representing Thoth, T-H-O-T-H, the god of wisdom and learning. So honored as a gift to Thoth, they were given full mummification and bread, especially for this purpose. Born to be a mummy, not a daddy. According to historical accounts from figures such as Aristotle and Strabo, ibises could be found in the streets of the cities, including Alexandria. And oh my god, that library. I mean, the bathrooms were hot. And then they burned the fucker down. This magic inspires us to be curious and to learn more about the world. If we are students of any kind or wish to know a subject more deeply, we can call upon this energy. Thoth teaches us that while we can seek counseling from others, often our best and first port of call is actually ourselves. Now, I will say, Hermes, Mercury, Elegua, Thoth, like, there are gods of the, like, different than Athena. It's a different vibe of wisdom, but you can find this energy in other pantheons. If you're not doing the Egyptian, I always go to Hermes. He's right behind my head. There he is. You see him? There he is. Hey, Hermes. So cute. And very funny. And a really, really good guy. if he likes you, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, that knowledge, that's gonna, like, look, only you can choose or not choose to learn something. This is why, you know, we have free will in the game, particularly in this reading, with that life-changing decision. But we don't, we get to choose amongst the options. We don't get to choose what the options are. It's like a video game, right? Unless you can hack in, and really, I don't know how much that is necessary. This is the way you hack in shadow work. Do not delay, that which cannot be prevented. But what we're certainly not going to prevent is the new deck, the Whispers of Lord Ganesha, the Hindu elephant-headed god of wealth, abundance, joy, but most known for removing obstacles, which, if you think of the 3 atoms in lead as the obstacle to gold, at least, I think the metaphor or the simile works. I forget exactly how I said it. I love this one. Please take a nice handle of Walmart. I don't work with decks I don't love. Breathe. Still point. Oh. My beloved Lord Ganesha, Hindu god of wealth, abundance, joy, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. It's such an honor and a pleasure. Please, one card in clarity for the Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading to help them remove the obstacles by doing the shadow work of alchemizing the Don Juan, Wheel of Fortune on the inner, Lovers on the outer, overcoming fear. They will transcend every loss anyway. With the whisper of forgiveness, with the knowledge of the Sacred Ibis flying, also kind of walking behind them, I'm sure. One card in clarity, please. What is your oracle, your guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power for the Leo collective this full to new August 2022? Priorities. Ooh. What's the number on it before I show you? Card number 30. Priorities, right? So, I mean, I'm still getting... Don't worry, I have pants on. Abercrombie and Fitch from, like, the 90s. These things last forever. Yeah, you know, it's like, look at it. He's got a lot on his hands. Well, he's got a lot of hands. But really taking a look at this. Now, I would think with the Don Juan, your priorities archetypally are kind of spelled out here on the table. So let's see what Angelo Hartfield does. She also does the Whispers of Love. Blue Angel Publishing is awesome. Please take a nice deep breath. There's only one more card after this. We're almost done. Still point. Card number 30. Priorities. Make the most of your time. Every day is a gift. You have the options to make the most of what life is offering you. If you long to create organization in your life, you will benefit from prioritizing. Your ideals determine what you will seek in life. That's very much in that Don Juan thing. This is a real free will kind of read. Your priorities are most visible in how you use your time. Ganesha is holding the water lily and emphasizing the importance of your values. He encourages you to know what you truly want. Very fixed fire, Leo, your heart's desires. What makes you happiest? There are always blessings that may not be apparent in the midst of disappointment. I will overcome every loss. Time is not something that can be saved for later. When it comes to the time allotted to you each day, only you have a limited opportunity. Did I read that right? When it comes to the time allotted to you each day, you only have a limited opportunity. Okay, I think I did. Make your choices about how you spend your time in accordance with your highest values. That's a process, that's for sure. But forgiveness is going to really unlock that. Reevaluate how you have been spending your days and how you can strive to be more satisfied, particularly in how you might have used seductive power in the past. and hence alchemize in all of that shadow, right? Learning, right? Forgiving all the losses that came. You're overcoming it because it couldn't have happened any other way. It was written into the script, particularly on the inner with the Wheel of Fortune. And so this decision that you're making is probably more about you than anyone else involved in a real healing way. Reevaluate how you have been spending your days and how you can strive to be more satisfied. In terms of priorities, for each major decision on the table, such as education, occupation, place of residence, which I'm going through, place of residence, marriage, or parenting, you may ask yourself, what will be the impact of my decision? In all choices, make sure that you are certain of what your priorities are. Relate your goals to ways to bring love and blessings to yourself and the people who share your life with. Like, okay, totally, on Zillow, 10,000 times a day. And a big deal breaker, wall-to-wall carpet. It's okay if it's in one room and if it's a, like a Berber deal, but with 3 black cats, no more like shag or wall-to-wall. No. Hardwood floors, thank you very much. Now, it's not a total deal breaker, but that's a priority. Because I have 3 black cats. It's like, no. So, that is a priority for me to kind of look at them and go through all the pictures and take the virtual tours. Because I'm not up there yet. My family's up there checking out, scoping it, looking at the actual, and I tell you, what's in photo and what's in reality is often quite a gap. So yeah, right? And making sure that you prioritize your own health, your own healing. But no question here, the shadow work, it looks like it's a priority. Last card down, within the lead there is gold. Within what may feel like a curse is a blessing. So we're going to use the Blessed Be, the mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empowered, though dedicated and consecrated to the pantheons of all pantheons, traditions, lineages, and cultures. We're going to get a little bit about what's in that light attribute, the gold, for you. The hidden blessing that's already there, but if you just do your best, right? You don't have to cross every T and dot every I. You just do your best. And this is the blessing that will be revealed to you, and it's nice to keep an eye out for it. Please take a nice deep breath. Last card down. Still point. As I call to the pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures. One card in clarity, please, for the Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Please, what is the hidden blessing, the lead within the gold, so that they can spotlight their positive, seductive qualities in this Wheel of Fortune destined place that they're in? How can they blame themselves for something that was written into the script? The soul does not do that, and there's a choice there to kind of align all of that because it's time. With the Lovers on the outside, this is a real confluence of major arcana energy saying that they're at a crossroads in their life big time, and they need to overcome fear, and they will transcend every loss. I'm going to have to let go of living on Long Island to live upstate in Saratoga County somewhere. So there, of course, there will be a loss, but it will give insight and a journey. And the next level, it's like leveling up. So with that whisper of love, of forgiveness, that nothing can be gained from holding on to past disappointments and heartbreak are pretty much on the same emotional frequency. So to call upon the Sacred Ibis to really study and learn and see from a bird's eye point of view a bit of what we've been through, looking back at the past, so that forgiveness can happen as we cut ourselves a break and say it couldn't have happened any other way. I did the best I could, and here I am, and I'm still here, right? And therefore to align their priorities and the time that they spend on what they spend, and that obviously is on the table here. So please, the hidden blessing pantheons of all pantheons, to shift them, everyone they know, and this whole planet and all the life on it into a more golden timeline this full to new August 2022. Ooh, a blessing of fire. Ah, you got your element. There you go. Bam. I know I take a long time to shuffle. I am well aware. It's not until I feel the card right in my hand. That's the intuitive part. I can say you're taking too long, because no, that's not it. That's not it. Card number 3. my lucky number. Oh, this is going to be intense. All right, so here's the tea. I'm going to read what's in here, but it's a blessing, and I do it for real. I've got the hardware, I've got my blessing cords, and then at the end of that, if you want to stick around, we're going to chat for a little bit, where I have to release all this energy, and I usually do it with humor and goofy, and I would think that would be particularly true for Leo, right? Let's have some fun with this. Let's do this for realsies. Because it's getting warm in here. I'm going to turn on the AC. Please take a nice deep breath. A bit for Sunday, though. Still point. Oh. Here we go. A blessing of fire. A blessing to bring passion, motivation, and creative spark to your life and to the lives of those that you touch, as a Don Juan archetype. May the many blessings of the holy fires be yours. May fire's burning passion, its quick intensity, compel you into moments of action, to make decisions, follow the truths of your heart, and quicken and burn like the flames with the hearth. That's very Leo. May you be warmed and sheltered by the glow of these holy fires, and may they spark again and again the motivation we all need to turn the wheel in our lives. And may they burn through the debris of memory, the fallen dead wood of hurt and grudges, and burn through the pain that so many of us feel when recollecting injustices. Something like forgiveness. May it inspire you to move forward with your life, and may it bring down what no longer serves you. May its crimson heat take light within your own soul and breathe to life the flames within you, so that you kindle again and again the sacred inner life which will warm you when all about you grows cold. May you have rising within you from that radiant heart of fire in the head, the poets of old, the ancient brilliance that will allow dreams to ignite, so that you shine with that inner radiance. May any fear of fire pass from you, and may the only flames you tend be those who serve your best self. Let any former harm in other lives from this element pass away now, and let a great spark from the heart of the universe rekindle your love of warmth, your passion, your intensity and motivation. Let your warm heart be a shelter for others who come to you, like creatures in the woods come to a campfire. And may the fires within be a place of creativity, of dancing, of dreams, of stories told through the flickers of the flames. May you always have that warmth and its protection and its ardor all the days of your life. Blessed be. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. So it is. Don Juan, Wheel of Fortune, Lovers, Overcoming Fear, Forgiveness, Knowledge, Study, Learning, Priorities, and a Blessing of Fire. It does make sense, my Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers, and if it clicked something for you, please hit the thumbs up and help the other Leos find the read. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, I think the best way would be to subscribe. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell. As I said, I'm moving my home this year instead of next year, which was the usual plan, but who knows. So I put out these videos when they're ready because at my age, 53, yeah, I know I don't look it, thanks. I am not burning myself out, particularly with all that's on my plate, which you can see priorities, right? And if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more me, more Mal, every morning, cup of coffee, bathrobe, talking about the day's magical applications and spiritual practices according to the astrology, then come by Juan on Patreon. They're all getting really good stuff over there, and we're building a lovely community, and we've got some men in there too. Can you imagine? It happens. So if you want to come play Juan on Patreon. I'm the Angelo Lyons. Angelo Lyons. Did you just call me Mal already? That being said, if you want to book me for a private read, there's a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mal explains everything for you, beginning, middle, and end. From booking it to checking in to 2 days after the reading. Zoom, Facebook, however we want to do it, explains it all for you, just like Clarissa. So thank you for watching. I love you. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of this new to full August 2022. Have at it. Let it roar. Farewell and blessed be.